Hey, how's it going? Hope you had a good weekend. Today, playing some mono red in historic because, well, I like to play mono red, of course. Before I talk about the deck for a few minutes, the usual YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, comment, everything's in the description as always, and let me know what you think about the new intro. I thought it turned out pretty well. What do you think? Today, mono red, nothing special going on here. This is the non-budget version of the deck though, so we are playing Bomat Couriers, we are playing Soulscar Mages, and over in the sideboard, there are a number of rare cards that are required. Still, the deck is fairly cheap compared to some of the other decks that are running around in Historic right now that are requiring 40 or 50 rare and mythic wildcards. A couple of notable additions to this deck are Hazoret the Fervent as a 2 of at the top of our curve. I think this card's really great. You know, most of the time it's going to come down when we're empty-handed. It's going to be a great blocker, going to be a great attacker, and it has a wonderful ability just to give us a little bit of reach in those games where maybe we just need a little bit more, or if the game has stalled out. Also, I added 2 Faceless Havens over Ramanop Ruins to the deck, and I'm not sure if I'm going to regret this going forward, mostly because of the generic mana that the Faceless Haven produces. In this column here, we do have a number of cards that take advantage of the generic mana, but for the most part, as long as our deck is working properly, things like Light Up the Stage, Skewer the Critics, and Wizard's Lightning should all just require 1 red source. It might get in the way, we'll see. Maybe the 4-3 beater will be worth having that generic mana source in the deck. I'm not sure yet. I haven't totally sold myself on this card yet, and I might want to go back to the runes. Just have to try it out a little bit. Over in the sideboard, Roiling Vortex has been an all-star for me. Jeskai Control is gaining a lot more popularity, and with people playing Mizzix and Torrential Gearhulk, well, I think they're not really aware of this card's middle ability. I think a lot of the time we focus on the first and the third ability, but the middle ability says if a player casts a spell and no mana was spent to cast it, Roiling Vortex deals 5 damage to that player. I've had people play their Torrential Gearhulks and dome themselves for 5 and kill themselves when I had a Roiling Vortex on the battlefield. Pretty awesome. Also added a couple of Thundering Rebukes. I can't remember if this was in the deck the last time I played it, but I think this card is very important, especially when we're running up against cards like Righteous Valkyrie. That 4 toughness is very hard, and if they have that life gain source, we basically just lose that game. Also the Cleric, the 1/4 Cleric, really troublesome for us, so Thundering Rebuke can help a little bit. I've added to the Anger of the Gods just because I've been seeing elves a little bit more often in the best of 3 queue. We'll see how that works out. And then finally Rampaging Frostodon, just to have another layer of anti-life gain. So here's the deck. Just have some fun. Nice, easy Monday morning for me. Hopefully it works out. See you in the games. Alright, so mono red in Historic Best of 3. After this weekend's big tournament, I'm a little bit unsure of whether or not we should be playing aggro decks in the format right now. If you saw the results from the tournament that happened yesterday for me, I think it's still going on, but there were 20 decks. 10 of those decks were Tainted Pact decks. 6 of them were the Jeskai control decks, and 3 of them were Phoenix. It's not a very diverse field. Basically, it's just cards to deal, either to play Pact or to deal with Pact, and that's sad, but that's the way it is right now. Hopefully, things will change. I know Wizards is aware of it, and maybe they'll address it. Maybe they're not. They won't. We are getting Stifle very soon. Maybe they're hoping that card will end up helping level out the format. All right, so our opponent turn 2'd our Lava Runner with a Stomp. They seem to be stuck on mana, so do I want to remove the Burning Tree Emissary? I'm a little bit worried about using this mana because I want to keep up the Wizard's Lightning to be able to turn on the Light Up the Stage, but if they have another Stomp, that could be quite annoying for us. I think I'm just going to bide my time a little bit here. Okay. So, I will throw... I will throw the Wizard's Lightning at their face, Light Up the Stage, see what we pull, and maybe work toward a turn 4 Hazoret. Those were not the best cards, but that's fine. Alright, maybe the opponent's stuck on their mana and got a bunch of 3 drops in hand. Punish the Gruul players. Oh, the opponent's playing the Godzilla lands. Yeah, pretty neat. Alright, opponent just done with it. So what do we want against Gruul? It's a pretty nasty matchup for us. Anger of the Gods could be good, but they do have a lot of 4-drops. Still, I think it's probably worth bringing it in just in case they have that crazy turn of Pelt Collector, Burning Tree Emissary into the Voltaic Brawler. I want to have a way of just getting like a clean 4-for-1. We are on the draw though, so we might be just a little bit too slow in that respect. I do also like Thundering Rebuke in this matchup just to deal with the Questing Beast and a Gruul Spellbreaker if they put the +1/+1 on it. Can be really troublesome for us. All right. I feel like our Lava Runners are probably pretty good targets to take out of the deck. They're just kind of fodder for Stomp and very unlikely to get in this matchup. The next question is whether or not I want to also bring in a Braid. I think it's fine. Having a Braid for the Embercleave is going to be very important. Also, 3 damage, taking out a lot of their vital creatures. It's probably important to have in the deck. What are we removing from the deck, though? I think 1/1. Again, same logic with the Stomp. I don't want it getting taken out. Although, maybe the Pyromancer's a little bit weaker compared to the Bomat Courier. Might need the Bomat Courier to get us a little bit of draw later on in the game. As always, if you are watching this video and you do see me sideboarding things out, I would really appreciate advice down below about sideboarding advice. Sideboarding is one of those things that's very tricky for me, mostly because I don't tend to stick with a deck. I should start getting in that habit of getting on one deck and trying to play it continuously, but I don't know. I tend to like to jump around. So advice on proper sideboarding is always going to be appreciated. All right, so we could go out with the Pyromancer, but I kind of like going out with the Bomat Courier and getting a little bit of value from this light up the stage while we can. Hopefully try to find our third land here. We do. Fantastic. The Abrade, maybe we need to fire it off here if they play out something delicious. Give a haste. Oh, opponent. Bugger. Well, I could just attack it. Yeah, if they want to trade it. No, I didn't think so. All right. So we do that. We could go ham, Abrade, and Skewer the Critics. We are going to lose the Abrade anyways, so it's kind of like we're still just using one card to kill it. I don't hate it. Let's do that. And then it helps us work our way toward the Hazoret in maybe a turn or two. I really wonder how the Gruul decks are positioned right now against the format being so control-y right now. I imagine it does pretty well. But what does it do against turn 4 Tainted Pact, right? Ooh, very good card for the opponent. We're not going to be able to stop that because Skewer the Critics is sorcery speed. But they're also in a position where they can't really block our Bomat Courier. Same reason as last turn, so I think I will crash in and challenge once again. Okay. I'm fine with that. Maybe a little aggressive on our side, but they are down to 2 cards. That Scavenging Ooze is going to be a problem going forward. And they have the Questing Beast, so we really need to get this Hazoret down. And we're not able to do that. Okay, Thermal Alchemist, and pass the turn. So, opponent gets in for 4. And a Gruul Spellbreaker follow-up, really good. So that 4 toughness is really damaging us. And we're just not hitting any. A land there would have been great. Of course. Got to get these cards out of my hand, and I just can't seem to do that. So, do I play out the Thermal Alchemist and just take my beats? Maybe. Do I remove the Questing Beast, maybe? That's also not the worst idea. Okay. I think I'm in desperation mode myself, so we will take out the questing beast. Get a couple points of damage in here. And then hopefully buy us just enough time to be able to get the our hand a little empty and Hazoret on the field. If we need a land next. Oh, bugger. Okay. Well, that's just the way it goes. Sometimes they have two questing beasts. Take that. And yeah. Well, in the intro, I did say Hazoret's going. The opponent gives the oops at the end. What a dingus. I did say that Hazoret's going to be a little bit difficult with 18 lands in hand. Usually it's been working out, but of course it's not going to be consistent with 18 lands. Maybe it's worth going up to 20 or 21, throwing in the Ramanop Ruins. I don't know. We'll see. All right, so we can open with our Soulscar Mage. We do have the Thundering Rebuke this time, a little bit of a cleaner answer to those 4 toughness creatures. Tap land for the opponent. Okay. I'm going to hold the Lightning Strike just in case the opponent has a Stomp. I'd rather save the Soulscar Mage. Yeah, wow, okay. So we're getting all our lands now. That's fun. Hit for 1. A little bit of a bad position. If we get our 6th land here, oh boy. All right. That's fine. Well, now we can work toward a Hazoret, and I don't... They're going to have a really hard time dealing with Hazoret. Very clean answer. Love Thundering Rebuke. Glad I came across it. It was a card that I kind of ignored for a long time. That's good. Okay. Well, that's a shockable target if I've ever seen one before. Oh, nice. So this is great. So we needed the 1-drop there so we could turn on the Hazoret. Go! Okay. If they can't deal with this Bomat Courier, I think the game's just kind of over for them. Gruul Spellbreaker, sure, on 4, and yeah, they don't have an answer to that. Sure, let's get that out. Yeah, we're attacking like this, right? They're going to block on the Bomat, 100%. 2 cards, good enough. They got so much to deal with. They're going to be down to 2 life. We have the Thermal Alchemist for next turn. Lightning Strike in hand now. Hazoret's ability, like, we got there. So, going first, oh my god, going first these days seems just so powerful. I can't believe how... It's always been that way. I've always felt, you know, you want to go first, of course, but it just feels more lopsided than ever before. Wanted to give the opponent a good game. All right, good start to this video. Take a win. Let's go on to game 2. All right, not game 2, match 2. Again, always confusing games and matches. Always nice to beat opponents who give you those oops emotes. I don't know. That's interesting. Do you get tilted from your opponent's emotes? I tend not to, but I do think they're quite funny from time to time when we get to see them. All right, so my estimation of right now, you know, you see something like Luris and sleeves like this, you're going to think maybe Rogues. And in that case, a hand like this is really not going to be good. We want to have the interaction, but if it's not Rogues, you know, we can get out early. And it's such a hand that has a high potential. I think I got to keep it. We'll see if it works out. If it is Rogues, this matchup could end up being nasty. The other one is going to be the Orzhov Auras, and in which case we're also in trouble because we needed interaction for Shroud. Yeah, okay, so here we go. We need a Light. Oh, okay. Not even a lightning bolt will help us now. We can neuter it a little bit with something, but now I think we're just done. Okie doke. Well, turn 1 lifelinker with enchantments versus somebody without interaction and trying to burn down. Yeah, Heliod's Punishment. Cool. No blocks. Yeah, let's just play to the board and try to, I don't know, make something happen soon. Gonna need to find some very, very important spells. This card. I remember this card when it first came out. I was playing it in Limited, and I constantly forgot that it did not have flying. Just because the way the art is. Shouldn't this card have flying? Or have different art? Yeah. Alright. Well, we drew very much the wrong side of our deck, and I think I'm just going to scoop it up because they're already at 30 life. There's no way we're getting out from underneath this. We kill the Eidolon, it still comes back. They have Luris. Is that an early concede? No. Let's save some time. Let's go to the next one. Alright. So, we want to bring in the Rampaging Frostodons. I think we also want to bring in the Roiling Vortexes. The life gain is not so apparent in that deck, but I think having the Rampaging is probably good enough. I also maybe the Anger's not good. Their creatures get out of the Anger range very quickly. Instead, I think I just want instant speed interaction and probably Thundering Rebuke, just if they get to that 4. Yeah. We're still going to have trouble with the Spirit Dancer because it very quickly gets up to 5 life. Okay, so these are fine. Lava Runners can go out. Same logic as before. It's just one of the weaker cards. It's not going to be getting in a lot of the time. Oh, I left in that. Okay. They do have the Heliod's Punishment. It's a pretty annoying card against us. It's going to be turning off our creatures. I know. I think I have to leave in the Soulscar Mages. Its ability to distribute -1/-1s are going to be very important. I'm going to take out a Hazoret and maybe 1 Bomat and try it. Try it like that. Okay, this matchup's just rough overall. Mostly because we're not playing black. I think if you want to beat the Orzhov Aura's deck consistently, you basically have to have access to Fatal Push. Oh, this hand is so sketch. Alright. We are on the play, so maybe we can make it work. Okay, the Hateful Eidolon again, and we do have a way of dealing with it. It's probably beneficial to kill it now. And then next turn, if they go out with the Shram, we can hit it with the Wizard's Lightning. No Wizard's Lightning necessary. So, I think, let's go see what's under this Light Up the Stage. Land. Perfect. That's fine. So they're a little bit stuck. Let's get Hazoret onto the board. Maybe this is foolish because they do play the Heliod's Punishment. Heliod's Punishment on Hazoret right now would be quite annoying, but yeah. She wasn't, well, she was going to hopefully be attacking next turn. She can do that though. Okay. And let's just chill until we can free the beast and start slamming in. We do have great interaction. Easy. Okay. Hopefully they don't have a second Heliod's Punishment. Oh no. A Mire's Grasp. That's rude. It's the rudest thing I've ever seen. Okay. Bomat Courier. Sure. Okay. Not a whole lot going on right now. Thankfully, they're stuck at 2 lands. Amogus' favor. Opponent killing me. Alright. Well, at least Hazoret's going to start getting in for some damage this turn. And then... Oh my gosh. Alright. You didn't see that. You didn't see that. That definitely didn't just happen. Well, at least we get a kill here. So, Hazoret does have a clause that says she can't attack if you have so many cards in your hand. And I forgot about that for a minute. There we go. Now Hazoret can attack. What a dummy. Dummy dingus. Core Spirit Dancer for the opponent. Nice. Take some damage. Well, that's not going to happen. Oh, Hazoret. Got to play with her more. Okay, opponent is finally finding their lands. So we can attack. Hold up the Wizard's Lightning just in case they have yet another creature to start loading enchantments onto. Heliod's Punishment is annoying. But if they don't have anything else, like they got to deal with the Hazoret here, or we'll get them. I wonder if they're debating the Mogus's favor. Yeah. Okay, so Hazoret is down, and the opponent getting a little bit of a chance here. Okay, we'll throw out the Pyromancer. I'm not going to go full with the Wizard's Lightning just because I'm afraid of something they can load up here. Or Luris. Okay. Alright. So, despite being an idiot and forgetting how Hazoret works, we are able to take game 2. Get to go to game 3 on the draw, though. I don't know why I didn't bring in Grafdigger's Cages. Probably want to have them in the deck versus a deck with Luris. You know, it's Monday morning. I can excuse it by being a little bit out of it, right? That's an excuse. So, we'll bring in the Grafdigger's Cages. I need some source of damage. Maybe I'll go out with the Pyromancers. Yeah. I'm a little bit afraid I'm taking out too much of the aggression just to put in answers to deal with what they're doing. Okay, let's hope they don't have that awesome turn 1 play. This is bad. Obviously, we need shocks and abrades and all that. So I think keeping this is just going to result in a very similar thing to game 1. Throw it back, and it's the opposite side. We get all the interaction, but 1 land, and interaction we can't cast. Oh, it's worse. Okay. It's so much worse. I guess we'll do that. Alright, so got lucky there, obviously, with the second land. Okay. Let's hope they were leaning heavily on SRAM. Tap land for the opponent. Good, good, good. Another SRAM. Making me think they don't actually have an enchantment, a 1 CMC enchantment. So I could just kill the SRAM now, or I could try to get some extra value out of it when they go to enchanted. Do you think they play any kind of instant speed protection for the SRAM, though? I don't know. I'm going to get rid of it now, start putting cards under the bow mat, because I think the bow mat might end up being pretty vital at some point in this game. Oh my god. Spirit Dancer, SRAM. Yeah. Well, unless we draw... Oh no. Oh, no, not what we need. Uh-oh. So the Wizard's Lightning's not going to be very good here. I could hit the Hateful Eidolon, of course, but is it really worth it? Maybe it is. We needed a Thundering Rebuke there, but I think now the game just gets way out of our grasp. Okay. I'm going to pass, hold up the Wizard's Lightning for the Hateful Eidolon. Nice. Okay. It's going to be a pretty good Lurrus target for them in a few minutes, though. Pillar of Flame, right on time. Right on time. Okay. We'll try to fight through it, but I'm less than hopeful. Yeah. It's got to be Lurrus into Eidolon, I think, now. Sure. Wow, opponent just has everything. We're not going to beat this card advantage, of course. You know, we tried our best killing both the Shrums, but it just wasn't quite enough. Yeah. Okie doke. I'm satisfied. I'm good with it all. Let's go to match 3. All right, match number 3. Just got destroyed by Orzhov Auras. Don't know. If you have some advice for that matchup, I definitely would appreciate that advice. That's a matchup that I tend not to do very well against. I really should. I think the last time I went up against the deck, I actually said something along the lines of, I should really be playing that deck and trying it out. And I just never really got around to it. Okay, let's go out with the Thermal Alchemist. Opponent is on probably Jeskai control. Hopefully they don't have a Lightning Helix for the Thermal Alchemist. That would be really swell. Let's try to pump a little bit of damage into them. Next turn, our Lava Runner will probably have haste. Memory Lapse. I'm very okay with that. Yeah, since that's the case, we'll go even a little harder. We do have the Faceless Haven as like a little bit of reach in a couple of turns. Nice to see Kahira being played. I really like this card. I haven't crafted it yet. I'm not sure if I have any that I opened. But, yeah, really neat Lord. Okay. Well, I think we're just going to try to go for this. Give our Lava Runner haste, take them down a little bit more. Memory Lapse number 2. Well, okay, so our Lava Runner doesn't get haste. Interesting. Still, they're not exactly in a healthy spot. They might have a board wipe here, but then we have the Faceless Haven to follow it up. Really great card against the board wipes, obviously. Opponent thinking long and hard about their decisions over there. They must not have the board wipe because they would have snapped it off right away. Lightning Helix really good. On the Lava Runner, that's okay. Interesting choice. So they left 2 mana open. Do they have another Helix for the Faceless Haven? There's no way, right? All right, let's get blown out. Let's get blown out. Brainstorm, okay. All right, so we should be able to get in for 5 here. We still have 1 damage coming in from the Thermo this turn. If they wipe the board, we're probably pretty good with the Faceless Haven. Position looks okay. Okay. Lightning Helix is definitely the worst card. All right, they don't find it. So we get to go on to game 2 against this deck. Like I said in the intro, I want my Roiling Vortexes 100% of the time. I can also bring in the Grafdigger's Cages, slow them down, especially if they're on the Mizzix Mastery deck. Yeah, it's fast. Okay. So, against this match, what do I want to take out? I feel like the Thermal Alchemists are just kind of like sitting ducks. I want to have, like, the Lava Runners I value quite a bit in this matchup, just because they can come in with haste. The Alchemists are okay, but I think for the most part, they're not going to make it to the turn they need to be activating. Maybe cut 1 Pyromancer. And maybe I just get rid of a couple of Pillar of Flames because I don't think they're going to have too many preferable targets outside of face. Sure. Okay. Whew, hand looks weird. I don't think there's any way we can keep it. We need turn 1 and turn 2 plays. Okay, that's a little bit better. I think I'm going to throw away the Shock. It's the lowest impact card, I think, in the deck or in the hand. Hopefully we can resolve this Roiling Vortex. Oh, we do have the follow-up Vortex, so throw out the Lava Runner for that. Opponent's got some good style. I'm like, personally, fan of the older art lands. These ones are alright, the Snow Mountains, but could be better. Alright, so let's attack in. Let's see. Nothing. I'm going to try to get a Roiling Vortex down. They might have a memory lapse for it. Yeah, they do. They know how powerful that card is, so dealing with it now. Getting of the Trials going to be a problem.
I will prove myself worthy.
Sure. What do you do? He's going to prevent damage. That's the plan.
I've been waiting for this.
Alright. Well, Roiling Vortex. Mountain. Okay. Pass the turn. Can't do anything about it. I really like the decks. The Jeskai decks have switched to the Gideon of the Trials. And I think it's awesome. It's really good against the pack decks, obviously. And we're in a tight spot now. Okay, let's throw down the second Roiling Vortex. I'm not sure if we're ever going to be able to turn on the light up the stage, but maybe we'll get there. This Gideon is going to get so big that eventually I'm not even going to be able to deal with it with burn spells. So I'm not sure what I got to do. Oh. Here's a really good opportunity to hit him now, but I don't think I can. They'll do the 0 now. Yeah. Get the emblem. They can't lose the game until we deal with old Gids. And that. So now is our opportunity maybe to, well, they're going to untap mana. Got to assume they're going to have a memory lapse. But if we draw something that can deal 2 damage to Gideon, now's our chance to deal with him. We don't. Part of me wants to hit the Gideon here, but I also kind of want to get up the light up the stage. It might be greedy to do this, but I think it's also kind of necessary. Okay. Yeah, let's throw this at Gideon now. while we can. And then hopefully next turn between the Wizard's Lightning and the Lightning Strike, maybe the Gitu Lever Runner we get back. I don't know. Maybe we'll be able to take him out. I did build this deck, not this version of the deck. I wanted to see what the Jeskai players were dealing with over there. So I built the one with the Torrential Gearhulks and all of those fun things. And it's pretty fun, I will admit. So Gideon's at 2. He'll go up to 3. Baffling End on the Lava Runner. Is it worth the Wizard's Lightning? Maybe not. Okay. Going aggro with Gideon. All right. So I like the Jeskai deck with the Torrential Gearhulk and Opus WinCon versus this one that's basically Teferi and Gideon as a WinCon. This was a lot more popular. Okay. On the weekend? Interesting. So, do we win if we peel a Lava Runner off the top here? I think we do. I don't know what's in... Yeah, we'll have enough. It's a Faceless Haven. Not bad. But also not quite good enough. Opponent, we can take the opponent down to 1. Oh, man. I think I have to put it on the face. Okay. Hopefully they don't have an answer for this Faceless Haven. Here, of course, comes Chad. Oh, he can do permanents, not creature. Okay, well, that's bad.
Now it's my turn. Let's skip to the good part.
Do I throw the Wizard's Lightning at Gideon? Yeah, I think I have to.
Force my hand.
The Roiling Vortexes might end up just killing me. Oh, okay. Shark Typhoon, pretty good. So an even faster clock. Oh, we're dead. We're actually dead. Yeah, we're gonna definitely die to our Roiling Vortex if they hit us with Gideon. Oh, they didn't hit us with Gideon. So they're giving us a chance. Because they could have made him a 4/4, hit me for 7, and the Roiling Vortexes would have killed me. Yeah, sure. We're still in a terrible spot. This has been really cool. The Gideon's hard to deal with. I really don't know
I'm known for my excellent.
what I'm supposed to do against it. Okay.
You need to take your time.
They don't have any... They have 1 card in hand. So as long as it's not interaction... It's a memory lapse. Oh, no. Wow, opponent. Alright, well... We deal 2. They can hit us for 3, obviously. And then as long as this is a dead card, these 2 cards, they're going to have 2. We might be able to deal with this. But we have to chump block with the Pyromancer. What a tight game. It's possible that I should have thrown the Pyromancer on the Gideon there. Okay. I don't know. Whatever. We take it. It's some sloppy Mondays. Let's go to match 4. All right, match number 4 with mono red. Last game was questionable all through and through. We are against a Yorion deck. Opening hand looks great. Yeah. So one of my motivations for actually starting this YouTube channel and making these videos was that I was hoping that I could, get a little bit better at Magic. I wanted to start learning things because I do want to improve at this game. And I do see the value in watching your own videos. It helps quite a bit. So that last game, for example, is one that I really want to go back and watch and see where I went wrong, because I definitely know there were spots. Okay, so maybe also here's another spot. The G2 Lava Runner should probably be on the field, but for some reason I decided not to do that. Talking and doing things, you get distracted. Opponent is playing something neat. Okay, haven't seen a deck like this in quite a while. It is your typical bounce Yorion nonsense, but still cool. So we could get in with the Faceless Haven here. Is it necessary to start pushing that damage? Yeah. Why not? Free damage. Free damage. Costs a lot. They're going to take up our light up the stage, I imagine. Yep. Oath of Kaya. So, wow. Just passive life gain is really brutal. Okay. Make sure it's tapping that mana. Yep. Alright. Get it again for 4. And I guess I'll play out the Soulscar Mage. Bye-bye Graveyard. Not a big deal. Omen of the Sea for the opponent. If they draw dead here, they can't do much with this 2 mana. We could really be in a good spot. Wow. All right. We're going ham. Down to 1. All right, so fat finger my way through a win there, no problem. What are we dealing with here? Lots of enchantments. I don't know how much more life gain they're going to have with the Oath of Kaya. They might have other Kaya in the deck. Got to assume they're also going to be playing the Old Gods. Not a big deal. But the question is, do I want the Roiling Vortex? Probably, because you got to kind of assume that a deck like this is also going to be playing ultimatums. So the Roiling Vortex could do a lot in that case. We'll do that. I think the Thermal Alchemist is a little bit too weak in this matchup. And I think 1 Pillar of Flame can come out. I don't hate Chandra either. Maybe 1 Chandra for 1 Hazoret. Sure. Try that. Wow. Not good enough. Mulligan. Better. So I think I value probably the Hazoret over the Chandra. It's just going to be stronger and harder for them to deal with. They might have Skyclaves or Exile abilities, but I think maybe ECD. I don't know if people play that in Historic or not. Okay, opponent also mulliganing down to 5. All right, let's get out with the Lava Runner and put it to the opponent. If we can get up a early light up the stage next turn, that's going to be really good. Do I really want to go with light up the stage? Or just establish a board with the Pyromancer? Yeah, I kind of changed my mind. I'm going to go with the Pyromancer. Then next turn, if we need to, we can do Shock, light up the stage, and work our way toward a Hazoret on turn 4. Okay, Skyclave, sure. That's fine by me. Do I want to Lightning Strike instead of Shock? Shock's going to be easier to get out of the hand next turn for the Hazoret. So that's where I'm thinking, you know what, I think I'm going to do is this. I'm going to lose a bit of damage here doing this, but I think this is probably the way I want to do it. So we'll get that out of the way. We'll hit for 1, and then we'll light up the stage. Was really hoping to find a land there. Still, we can maybe get one, and then we'll have maybe a turn 5 Hazoret. Nope. Alright, use the mana while we can, or use the spells while we can, rather. Get in for 4 more, down to 9, and still looking for that 4th land. Wow. Out with the Nomad. Opponent's in a pretty desperate spot, so we'll do this. Alright. A little unfortunate for them. They ran out of gas real fast on the Mull of 5. Sucks. Let's go to a wrap-up. Alright, so, I don't know. There's not a whole lot to say about the deck. It's functioning as you would expect it to function. Faceless Haven actually came through pretty well and got us quite a bit of damage in some of those important spots during the control games. Hazoret, we saw it was a little bit of a struggle to get out in a few games, so maybe that warrants going up to 19 or 20 lands, maybe even 21, if we want to be consistently casting Hazoret out on turn 4. That's probably something I should look into and, you know, theory craft a little bit with. Otherwise, everything else is working well. The sideboard looks okay to me. It's a fun deck. You know, just a nice, simple, easy Monday morning for me. Let me know what you think about the mono red deck. What do you think about the Tainted Pack deck, most importantly? Do you think it's on the way out after this weekend's tournament? I don't know. Take care for now. See you in the next one.